What's up, guys? What's up, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time watching this channel, thank you very much. Check it out. Check out the other videos. If you like it, hit like and subscribe. My name is Matt Samolski. I'm Matt the Car Guy, and on this channel I do car reviews. I try to get a little bit of everything, some of the newest cars, some of the cool cars, different car segments. So we get from the mainstream to luxury, SUVs, vans, you name it. So there should be a little bit for everybody. Now today I have this 2021 Honda Accord Touring 2.0T. Now Accord has been the staple. It's always been one of the top mid-size sedans, and I remember ever since I started working for Honda in '97 through 2013, it's always been a very popular car. Now recently this market's gotten a little bit crowded and it's got a few new competitors. Some of them I reviewed already, like the Hyundai Sonata and the Kia K5. So Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, Nissan Altima, they all fall in the same segment. Now in this video I want to see if Honda still has what it takes to compete in this competitive segment. So I'm going to take you on the tour of the exterior of this vehicle. We're going to take a look inside, check out the trunk space, check out the engine, and then we're going to take it for a spin. So when you're ready, let's go. Starting right up front, this vehicle, now this model has been around since 2018, so they haven't done any changes on the exterior, but you can see it's got this nice long hood. Again, that chrome trim that seems to be the staple for all of the Hondas right now. Big Honda emblem right in the middle here, a little bit of a chrome trims right at the bottom, and this big multi-reflector full LED headlights, very nice, very bright at night. It also has, this is the touring model, so this is as high as it gets. It's got fog lights that are hiding here, and the design of the spoiler is a lot more sporty than on the regular Accord. So check it out. This is the front of it, and while we have it in the front, I'm going to pop out the hood and see what's hides underneath here. So currently Accord is offered with two different engine options, 1.5 and 2.0. This is the 2.0 turbocharged engine. That's a 4-cylinder 2.0 engine producing 252 horsepower, which is a lot more than its competition. It's also made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission, which, you know, to me it calls for a nicer and smoother ride. So we're going to check it out, but I'm going to show you of how this engine looks so you can take a look for yourself. Now, the one drawback that I always see with cars like this is, why not put those hydraulic lifters so you don't have to worry about doing this, what I just did. Anyways, check out the engine yourself. So the engine, you know, you can see it is a clean engine bay, engine covers. For some reason they stopped putting that Earthlinks. I have to find out if it's actually still the name for a Honda, but again, it's a 4-cylinder 2-liter engine, 252 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque, and 10-speed automatic transmission. We'll see how it drives. So So let's check out the side profile of this vehicle. Now you can see it's not as crazy as some of the newer designs, and you probably know what I'm referring to, but I mean it's still nice looking car. I mean it has these two distinct body lines, one at the top and one at the bottom that goes right here. Now there's also a chrome piece that goes alongside the bottom, as well as the chrome door handles with the chrome accents. Now of course it does have the LED lights in the mirror, those are your turn signals, and this vehicle has been equipped with the 19-inch wheels. Those are bigger wheels than the regular Accords, which are 18s. Two-tone wheels with the 19-inch tires as well on it. Those are all-season tires. They're 235, so they're just about the right size for the vehicle. What else you can see here? You can see that shark fin in the back. That's your radio antenna, of course, and you can see start of those lights that turn around. Now, as the Odyssey that we just reviewed, this is the capless tank, so you don't have to remove the cap. Just put your fuel nozzle in here, fill it up, and you're done. You don't have to worry about that check engine light that was caused by the loose gas cap. Okay, so the back side of this car, I mean, again, Honda's been pretty conservative as far as the design. Nothing really crazy, but again, it's very solid design. So those wraparound lights, they kind of protrude, they stick out on the sides, LED lights, and then again they make this fork type of shape in here with the turn signals and the reverse lights right in here. Those are fully LED. Now the trunk doesn't have a spoiler, but it looks almost like it's got the spoiler that's built in. The brake light is right here. It's not on the top, it's right here at the bottom of the rear glass. And then you can see that it is an Accord, that it is a 2.0 touring model, so this is the highest model that it has. Now it does have two exhaust tips. Those are real exhaust tips that are actually functional, and that is it. You know, we got a few of the reflector lights and some parking sensors in the back. So we're done with this, but let's check out the trunk space on this car. And it's huge, I gotta tell you. Let me show you this. Okay, so let's walk up and let's see how big this trunk really is. Now, no spare tire, is it? Is there? Yes, there is. There's a spare tire right here, so that's great news. This is just the tools, which is a nice placement for it. And the trunk, if you see it, I don't know how much you can see because of the lighting, but this, how tall it is. It's very tall, so you can fit tons of storage in here. That's the trunk of it. So the roominess in the back seat, I have the front seat adjusted to my regular driving position. I'm 6 feet tall. I want to see if I can comfortably fit in the back seat. And voila. Well, I got to tell you, I'm pleasantly surprised. I think there's a lot more room in this car than its competition, because you can't see it probably from there, but I do have about 3 inches between my knees and the front seat, and that's how I measure the roominess in here. It also, the seats are comfortable, and you can also have 3 people sitting in the back. There's 3 seat belts, but there's this bump in the middle, so you might not be the most comfortable sitting in the middle seat, but still not bad. Well, check it out for yourself. I'm going to show you what else is in here. All right, let's walk up in the back here and let's see this interior. So now you can see this one is a touring version, so it's nicely appointed with leather seats. And as I said before, this one does have 3 passengers capacity. This also opens up in case you have 2 people and allows for the extra storage and cup holders in the middle. Inside of here, you can have your charging for 2 people that are in the back here, and you can basically just close and open the vent controls. There's nothing else to it. Seats have the seat pockets in the back and on the door itself. Now this is a touring, so it does have the heated seats in the back, as well as you have your regular window controls. A little bit of storage in at the bottom of the door, and that is it. That's the back of it. There is the one segment of my videos. As always, I try to check out the sound of the closing door, just to check out the quality of the vehicle, and certainly this one is probably one of the nicest sound of the closing door. I mean, it's very solid, It's very quiet, and you can feel it like it seals in very nicely when it closes. So we're gonna check out the interior of it. This one's also has that keyless entry where you can basically lock and unlock the door if you have a key in your pocket by just getting close to it, and you can hear the vehicle beeping. Now it's locked. Let's do it again. Now it's unlocked. So before I'll take you on a tour of the entire interior, let's check out the door really quick. And you know, very simple door handle, memory seats. You have your mirror controls, lock unlock. You do have your window controls, and you have your trunk unlock, as well as some storage at the bottom. What do you have here on the side of the steering wheel? Well, first of all, you have several buttons that are fairly new to Honda. One of them is HUD. That's basically a head-up display. Trip, so, and then the dimmer for the instrument cluster. You also have your shortcut to basically have your driver assist feature. You can turn off your traction control off, and you can turn off your parking sensors off. That's where you pop the hood open, and let's take a look at the rest of it. All right, let's check out the interior, the rest of the interior. So as you can see, it's got the Honda multifunction steering wheel, and on the left hand side you have some controls, basically your volume controls. This is to control the screen on the left hand side, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. And this one basically controls your heads-up display and your cruise control. At the bottom here you have your lane keep assist button, as well as you can set the distance for your adaptive cruise control. And on the bottom here, this is your phone control. Now this vehicle also has this pedal shifters. They're not as pronounced as I would like them to be, especially on the 2.0 turbo. 252 horsepower, that's a lot of horsepower for a vehicle like this. So I think they could do a better job and make it bigger. Let's turn this on and see what it looks like. Press the brake pedal. First of all, you can see this lights up in white. When you press it and the engine starts, it's red. That's always the indication in a Honda Acura vehicle that the vehicle is on. So if you see this, you know, you need to be aware that the car is on. So instrument cluster right here. Left hand side, this is the part that's customizable, and you can change that screen to tachometer, which we just had. Now you can also, instead of that, you can see the range and fuel. So you can have kind of the info screen, speed and time, audio, what's playing right now, phone, navigation, traffic sign. Now traffic sign, this is interesting, and this is fairly new, and Honda has the ability to read the traffic sign and display it onto that display in on the left hand side here. What else we have here? Driving support. So this is for your adaptive cruise control, driver's attention, rear seat belts to see if they're closed or not, they're latched or not. And going back here, maintenance, safety support, and warnings on the car. It says fasten your seatbelts. Yes, thank you, I will, before we actually take it for a spin. The rest of this instrument cluster is fairly simple. Right hand side you have your speedometer, you have your fuel gauge. In the middle you have your odometer, as well as you have your current temperature, and it displays also how many miles per hour you're driving. Not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but there is also a head-up display, and let's see if this can be made actually brighter. I turn this off, turn it back on. Actually not brighter, but this allows you to set where it displays. It's hard to see, but if you can see this 0 moving on the screen, that's basically your head-up display. Okay, what else do we have in this 2021 Honda Accord? So the infotainment system is basically the same as on my Pilot. It's basically the same as on the Odyssey that we recently looked at. except it has a little bit different interface. So these buttons are actually regular buttons. So you hit your home, back. Now it has two knobs in here, one for the volume of the radio. And let's turn on the radio. Let's see if we're not going to get copyrighted. So I'm just going to stop talking for a second.
Godfather and a OG and a half humble and a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast.
Okay, so not my choice of music, but radio actually sounds pretty good. I'm not sure who manufactures them, as there is no signs or anywhere on the speakers. What else do we have here? Just like most of the Hondas, you have your navigation system, and I think it's one of the best navigation systems. Honda's has always been good for their navigation systems. Easy to use, very accurate, and it doesn't get lost as much as some of the other navigation systems. Now, Garmin makes it for Honda. Back to home screen, you have your phone, you have your settings. Now this is basically vehicle settings or the display settings. So you can have the camera settings, rear camera. There's no front camera on this car, but you can have the fixed guidelines, dynamic guidelines. We're going to turn that on, make sure it's on. So when you are turning, the guidelines will turn with you as well. Matter of fact, let's check out the rear view camera while we're here. Okay, and you can see I'm turning the steering wheel and the guidelines are turning, basically letting me know where the car is going to go. They're fairly accurate. Does it have a 360? No, standard Honda camera. Decent camera, not as good as some of the higher end vehicles like the Mercedes or BMW. They have a better quality camera, but not bad at all. We're going to turn that off and go back to your infotainment system. AM, FM, Bluetooth audio, smartphone connection. So you have actually, you can connect your smartphone here, but you also have the ability here to connect your phone with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, which are standard on this vehicle. The bottom here, you have your vents, you have your hazard lights, and then your shortcuts for your AC. Now, the AC, this vehicle, it's a touring, so it's got the heated and ventilated seats. Actually a very nice option. Honda didn't have ventilated for a long time. And you can see difference in this and some of the competitors, that it has a lot of knobs. It seems like it has a knob for everything. Knob for volume, knob for tune, temperature, fan speed, temperature for the driver, passenger side. I personally like it. I think a lot of people are used to it, and it's a lot better than having those touch buttons to adjust that. That is pretty much it. You have a little bit of a storage here. That also has the wireless charging for the phone, and just turned on green, so it is charging. You can see that it's charging the phone. Now you have two outlets for USB, one for charging. This is for your data connection, and this is your power outlet right here. You can close that so you don't have anything in the way. Your gearbox, this is where you shift your gears. Very standard on Honda models, very easy to use. At first, when we got the Pilot, I wasn't so sure about it. Now it doesn't bother me a bit. Now you have two drive modes. You have the sport mode and the econ mode, and then this is where you set your parking brake on. So we're going to set that on here as well. Big cup holders and additional storage here with additional power outlet, as well as a little tray that you can put stuff on it. Comfortable armrest this makes as well. So this is the interior of this 2021 Honda Accord. As far as quality of materials, this is very nice. This is kind of soft touch, but it doesn't feel too rubbery. And you have this nice imitation wood trim. I think this fits in perfectly. This is a black on black car. Obviously there's other color choices. And top here you have your mirror with your home link system. That's to setup for your garage doors, gates, whatever you have your control set up for. Lights, controls, you have your Honda link, you have your assist button that's going to basically send out the emergency services. In case of an accident, you can connect to a live person. Push and tilt for the sunroof. Now it doesn't have as big or as windscreen, and I think that can make a difference when, especially when you're driving the car and it's kind of windy like some of the other vehicles have, but not bad at all. Manual sunshade. We're done on the interior. Let's take this for a spin. As I'm getting ready to take this vehicle for a spin, I just want to show you the key, and the key is basically the same as on my Pilot, and then there's because of the memory seats, you have the driver 1 and driver 2 on the back of the seat. That basically indicates which settings this key will start as soon as the vehicle opens. Lock, unlock, trunk, and remote start off the key, which I think it's a pretty cool feature. You still can have it from your Honda link, where you can, you know, basically start the car from anywhere in the world. It is a paid subscription service, so you have to pay for it. This is free, so that's pretty cool. Now we're gonna take it for a spin. I'm gonna basically do a turning radius first, as we normally do. I want to see how many parking spaces does it take to turn around. So we have 1, 2, 3, and about half. 1, 2, 3, yeah, just about 3 1/4. So it's tight. Honda's always been known for its very tight turning radius, so that's a really nice feel to the vehicle. You don't have to worry about it. Now, one of the things, you know, when I reviewed the interior of this vehicle, it does have the main things that you need. However, it's not as sophisticated as some of the other vehicles that we've seen, like the Hyundai Sonata with its 12-inch screen and tons of more of this gadgets that you can see on it. But if you don't care too much about it, this is a perfect option as well. Now, is it enough to compete in this segment? I think it is, because it's not that it doesn't have it, it just has less of it. Let me just give you an example. Maybe kind of like an MBUX would be on the Mercedes would be like the top of the line in my eyes, and then the BMW would be number 2. So that would be number 2. It's still there, it's still very functional. You don't have to worry about not having something, unless you wanna, you know, listen to the nature sounds or anything like this that Hyundai offers. It could have a better, you know, or branded stereo. I think it would help. Power or a panoramic sunroof. I don't think Honda ever had one, but this would be a nice feature to have on this vehicle. A little bit more pronounced as far as the pedal shifters on the steering wheel. I mean, it's kind of even hard to notice. It almost feels like an afterthought. They're functional. I'm actually shifting down right now and basically slowing down with the engine. You can hear the engine slowing down the vehicle, so it's basically doing the engine braking. As far as the ride, now I've driven this before, and we're gonna take this now for a spin. We're actually gonna merge into the expressway to see of how the acceleration is and how the handling is. But the first impression, it's a lot stiffer than some of its competition. That's nothing new. Honda's always been known for being a lot more stiff than some of their competitors. Now it holds on to the road better because of that too. It adds to that rigidness and the Honda racing heritage. One thing that you can hear is a little bit of a road noise, maybe a little bit too much. But let's go right here. Well, you can immediately hear that this 252 horsepower is no joke. It really gets this thing up and going. Let's see if I can switch it to a sport mode and see what it does. Yes, so the reaction very nice handling, very nice handling. So as far as handling, I mean, it definitely has the upper hand over the competition. As far as the looks, it's a matter of personal preference. I personally like it. As a matter of amenities, I mean, it lacks a little bit, and I hope Honda's gonna, when they do redesign, they're gonna add some more features on the vehicle. But you know, other than that, it's not bad at all. Well, let's talk price a little bit, because the Honda Accord right now starts right about $24,000, and that's basically almost exactly where the high-end Accord was when I first started in the business. Actually, it was a little bit less. It was 22 something back in '97 for the EX V6 with the leather interior. Then it went to like 24.7. Now that's where the LX Accord starts, 1.5 liter engine. Then what else they have? They have the sport version, which is basically less equipped vehicle with the same engine as the one that we're driving right now. And this is the top of the line. This one's about $37,000, so it's not a cheap vehicle. It's not an expensive vehicle, but it does have everything that you might want out of a mid-size sedan. So I definitely think it's a great competitor in the segment. Let's see how the turning is. So, see the steering wheel, it reacts right away as soon as you move it. The vehicle turns, and there's no body roll in it. It's awesome. Well, I'll give this car a big thumbs up. I think, you know, Honda is doing a great job, especially as far as performance of the vehicle. And you know, if they work a little bit maybe on some of the amenities of the car, they'll be definitely my top choice. But don't discount it, even though you might have seen them for the last few years. It's still very much worthy vehicle. I think it still holds, you know, one of the top 2 spots on the podium. Which one, you know, you decide for yourself. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for tuning into this channel. Again, if you like it, it's helped me a lot by subscribing to this channel. See if there's anything you like. There's videos that are coming out twice a week. I try to post on Wednesday and Sunday. So if there's anything you like, hit like. If there's somebody that you think it might be useful to, hit share and share it with that person. And you know, if there's any comments, I always appreciate all the comments, good, bad, and put them in the comment section below. Anyways, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.